I'm William Seklar, President and CEO of the Community House in Birmingham, and you're joining us on Making a Difference. Within each show, we recognize individuals, organizations, corporations, clubs, foundations, and those that are making a true and lasting difference in our community. Sometimes it's with the Community House, sometimes it's in our local community and beyond. I'm very happy today. We have a very special guest, and very happy to introduce you to the president of the Rotary Club, Mr. Chris McLogan. Chris, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You probably know the Rotary Club is an extremely important partner to us at the Community House. You may be the longest club or an organization in our history. I know that we celebrated our 95th last year, so we're our 96th, and I think you guys have been with us for maybe 6-7 decades or longer.
Yeah, 1924.
Is that right? So you were right with us almost from the beginning.
Right. Absolutely.
Well,
very proud of that.
We can't separate it. You are part of the family and part of the fabric of our organization, and rightfully so.
Right.
And there's so many of your members, and whether it's been in your steering committees, planning committees, boards, or doing initiatives that I see around our community doing other great work, both in their professions and also in volunteerism and so many other things. I'd love for our viewers first to know, tell us what the Rotary Club is. Talk about your role, maybe how you got there, anything that you feel might be important for those that maybe do not know about Rotary, which I have a hard time believing they don't, but just in case.
It's funny because sometimes I think people think of Rotary as a drive into a town, and on the the sign they'll see all the different organizations and they'll see our Rotary logo, but not necessarily know what that means.
Right.
But Rotary is a service-based organization where our motto is service above self. And that's really what we believe in, and we are a group of dedicated individuals who spend all of our time working on service projects and doing different things for the community and nationally and internationally.
Wow.
Rotary actually has 1.2 million members in over 34,000 clubs around the world. So you can see our presence is felt everywhere.
What a network.
And
yes.
it's just amazing. And Birmingham Rotary itself is we meet on Mondays, every Monday at the Community House, and
you start our week off.
Absolutely, and meeting at noon every Monday, and we have a great group of people. We have about 50 Rotarians right now, and they are from all all over the area. But we meet at the Community House and have a time to talk about our service projects and the different things that we're working on, and then we have a weekly speaker, which is nice.
Very
and
nice.
So it always helps to have a nice lunch at the Community House and talk about projects. Have a speaker and there for about an hour and 15 minutes, and we're very happy with what we do. Yeah.
Well, you pack a lot in that hour and 15 minutes, and yet one of the things I applaud about Rotary is that they're sensitive to folks that have to be on their lunch hour, or they've got other business commitments, and yet you try to accommodate them with a concise, what I think, but yet very fruitful lunchtime gathering, meeting, and yet are aware of today's world and all of the pressing challenges on folks' time. So I applaud you for that. I think that's why you're a strong organization.
Well, and we try to keep that in mind, because we know it's not like days past where everybody could possibly take off time and things like that. We know people have busy schedules, so we have some members in our group who might not be able to make every Monday's meeting, but they still can participate in our service projects and things like that we do around the community, and so that's nice. We're very aware of their time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Chris, that you are a realtor.
I am. Yeah,
and
I am.
You work for a local office?
Yep, I'm a broker with Max Brook Realtors right in downtown Birmingham for about 16 years.
Congratulations,
so
a great firm.
Thank you very much. Very proud to be there. Wonderful company and part of the community as well. Since 1895, Max Brook is. Yeah,
no kidding.
Birmingham, sure.
Well, I will tell you that that you've been a prime example of what can happen. I know you're very busy. You're one of the top producers in this community.
Thank you.
And yet you still find time to give back to the community and to lead currently as the president of Rotary. Why do you do it? How do you do it? And so can others, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, this is something that's been near and dear to my heart. I've been a Rotarian for about 11 years now, and my father, my grandfather, and two of my uncles were both Rotarians. And I always used to remember when my father was going to Rotary meetings, and I never knew what it was about. And then he finally said something, well, why don't you go check out Rotary? And I did, and this was about 10 or 11 years ago, and went to a meeting and did a couple service projects and just was hooked right away and really saw what Rotary does for the community, and not only globally but nationally, and all the different things that we do. So I was very, very proud to be a Rotarian for sure.
What a legacy! It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and I also am awfully amazed with our local realtor broker community in Birmingham, Bloomfield, and beyond. There are so many of you that give back to the community so unselfishly, and yet you are really all in many ways independent contractors. You've got your own business, and every moment time counts, and yet you guys have always together been a powerful group of making a difference. And at the Community House, we feel so strongly about our realtor broker friends, and then to have you leading Rotary this year and following in the footsteps of extraordinary leaders in the past. I congratulate you on that as well. You know, I know that you do some fundraisers or do some events and you support. Can you talk a little bit for our viewers that may not know some of those things in particular?
Well, if I can talk about Rotary as a global, so you can see how it sort of breaks down. And we have a lot of different missions that we try to accomplish, and it starts off globally, and we look at promoting peace, and that's one of our main things around the world, and fighting disease. And one of the things that people might think about Rotary, and when they think about the word Rotary is polio. And we really don't think about that in the United States and many other countries. And Rotary was one of the founders of trying to eradicate polio from the face of the earth. And believe it or not, there's still a few cases in different countries, and we are almost there to 100% eradicate polio. And when that is accomplished, that will be one of our major goals that we've done. Now, we do so many other things, and clean water initiatives around the world. The Birmingham Rotary Club has sponsored and built 2 different wells in Uganda to supply water for thousands and thousands of people, so we're very, very proud of that. We support mothers and children in different countries and underdeveloped countries. We support education. We do local scholarships. So when you look at it as a global initiative, then we break it down to a local initiative, and that's really what we do. So we look at the principles of Rotary, and then we do a lot of different events and fundraisers and things like that. We just finished our Masters raffle and gala party, which helped raise a lot of money for our endowment fund. We have a separate endowment fund where we were able to give back to the community and support a lot of local projects, scholarships. We work a lot with Groves and Sea Home.
Wonderful.
And we have a lot of our own initiatives. We're very involved. Hope Warming Center in Pontiac. We are there on a monthly basis and serving food. And Owens Elementary, also in Pontiac, where we have a guided reading program. And every week we meet and have several Rotarians who read to the young first and second graders, which is so special to be able to do that in Pontiac. We also work with Monarch Wings, which is a group with human trafficking and help work and build and some of the houses and renovate that they're doing. So that's very special. And we're also involved with several other projects. You know, the list can go on and on and on, and some of the things. But scholarships that we do. We ring the bell for the Salvation Army at Christmas time.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's unbelievable.
So we do that for the 2 Saturdays before Christmas.
Oh, fantastic.
And so those are just some of the things that we do on a, starting at the global level and then working its way down to the local level. So we're all very proud of doing that, and we have a wonderful group of Rotarians. And again, I said there are about 50 of us, and everybody is involved at a different level, whether it's just giving their time, resources, whatever it may be. So
Well, what's amazing for our viewers to hear what you've just shared with us, Chris, is that there's something for everybody.
Absolutely.
And that really, I'm really touched and moved by the important initiatives that both from an international or national level that has trickled down to our local level, the clean water and certainly reading literacy or reading to our children, and so many of the other topics. My mother was a post-polio victim. She was one of those that were affected by it. And for our viewers that may have not been touched, and it's been sort of not so front and center as it once was, the devastation that polio had on families, not only on the patient itself, but on the families, was extraordinary. And to now have that almost eradicated is so hopeful, and really you can't put enough emphasis on that. So from a Rotary standpoint and their involvement and support of that, it's incredibly remarkable. If somebody's interested in joining, what do they do and how do they do that? So that, is there a way to come to meetings to see what it's about? Do they have to be with a guest, or is there a host? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Again, as you know, we meet every Monday at the Community House at noon, and you do not have to be with anybody. You can show up, or you can contact us through BirminghamRotary.org, which is probably the best way, and to contact us through that link, and somebody will get back to you. We have our membership chairperson, and we would love to have anybody stop by for a meeting just to see what it's about and join us. And then what happens is usually somebody will attend 2 or 3 meetings, start to get a feel of the club, what it's all about, some of the things that we do, some of the initiatives and projects that we talk about, and they start to get a feeling. And very often when somebody will attend as a guest for a couple Mondays in a row, they just sort of get the feeling of all the good things that we do with all the like-minded individuals that are part of the club. And we welcome you to join. Our dues are $490 a year, which goes towards,
pretty minimal.
Well, in the scheme of things, it really is,
especially with the work you're doing.
Absolutely. And during the year, we support each other. We have a lot of fun, which is nice. It's a good group. Some of my closest friends now are part of Rotary, and it's just been a great organization. And we would love to have anybody attend and join us and see what it's all about.
Well, folks, I've been to their meetings, and while there's important business being conducted, I always felt welcome, and I always felt that I was not out of place. That I didn't even feel like I was a guest. I was warmly received. So I encourage you, if you're interested in learning more about Rotary, show up on Monday. Or go on to one of the websites. Community House is always a place that can connect you if you're in the building and want to know more. But I really want to thank you for being on, Chris. I'd like to have you back again and talk more about Rotary. And folks, by the way, Max Brook, Chris McLogan, he's given back to the community and to us, so give back to him if you're interested in real estate. He's got a great team and a lot of great colleagues there. Unfortunately, we're out of time, Chris, so folks, thank you for joining us here today. Until next time, I'm Bill Seklar at the Community House, and we're making a difference, and we're bringing folks to light that are making a difference too. So until next time, thank you for joining us, and thank you again, Chris. I really appreciate it.
Bill, thank you very much.
Thank you for
appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.